Two hitmen seem to have been assigned the same target. One of them recognizes the other as the silent assassin. He curses his luck. Of all people, he had to end up competing with a big shot for this job. Still, he's not about to back down. They both knew what they were signing up for when they entered this line of work. A fierce battle breaks out. The nameless assassin is sure he's landed more hits, but against the silent assassin, that doesn't matter. He's ultimately defeated, and just before being finished off, he curses his luck one last time. Then, the silent assassin moves in to eliminate his target, but we don't see whether he actually does it. Instead, the scene shifts to a classroom, where a group of students is chatting and going about their day. One student is invited by his friends to go shopping and visit a cafe after school, but he declines, saying he needs to finalize the club budgets. He's always busy. That's the life of the student council after all. He promises to join them next time. Meanwhile, our protagonist, the silent assassin, Oda, is quietly reading a light novel in class when a classmate approaches him, saying he's read that one too. The classmate asks if Oda likes isekai stories, but Oda replies that he just reads whatever he can find for free. The guy laughs and says Oda should let him know if he has any good recommendations, free ones, of course. Once Oda is alone again, he reflects that he's always been aware of how easily he fades into the background, so someone talking to him in class felt like a minor crisis. But that feeling wouldn't last long. It would soon be replaced by a real one. Strange symbols suddenly appear all over the classroom, and before anyone can react, Oda and his classmates are transported somewhere else. Everyone is confused. Was that an attack? Where are they? A man steps forward and announces that His Royal Majesty would like to speak with them. The king greets them warmly, thanking them for answering his call from their distant world. He explains that this new realm is called Morrigan, and they now stand in the human kingdom of Redis, the largest nation on the human continent. Redis is under attack by demons, and only a hero from another world possesses the power to defeat the demon lord. The king wishes to identify the hero among them. There will be only one. Each student is instructed to place a hand on a crystal orb. If they silently think the word status, they will see their class. One by one, the students comply. Even those who aren't the hero discover that their starting stats are far above those of ordinary people in this world. They're certain they'll go down in history alongside the chosen hero. They also learn that by saying status without the orb, they can view their stats privately. Oda tries this and discovers his class is assassin, but something's off. His stats are vastly different from everyone else's. When the smart, athletic, and popular student council president Sato is revealed to be the hero, Oda notices that his own stats are still strangely higher than Sato's. Only a few students remain untested, and Oda realizes this could become dangerous. He knows nothing about this world, not even whether the king's story about a demon lord is true. Revealing his abnormal stats now could cause serious problems. Thinking quickly, he activates one of his skills, Conceal Presence. It works. He vanishes completely from everyone's sight. Meanwhile, the evaluations conclude. The king announces that now that he knows everyone's classes, he will provide them with suitable equipment and private rooms for the night. Still hidden, Oda follows the group and notices something unsettling. Strange devices resembling cameras. They're being watched. Clearly, something here isn't what it seems. After that, Oda finds a room no one has bothered to clean, so he figures no one will come by to disturb him. He needs information, so he heads out with his Conceal Presence skill still active. That's when he finally gets a good look at the scenery, and it hits him. They really are in another world. He also realizes he now possesses incredible athletic ability. It seems he received the typical summoning bonus. While wandering around, Oda overhears the king speaking with the princess about the brats. The princess dismissively says they're just children from a world without magic. They won't be a threat. The king replies, "Proceed as planned then. They're not to enter the castle archives. We can't have them learning too much." After the princess leaves, Oda slips into the king's room. He admits he doesn't know exactly what the king is after, but he's sure it's nothing good. He could easily kill him right then and there, yet in the end, he chooses not to. The next day, Oda wonders if he should reveal himself and tell his classmates what he overheard last night, but how could he possibly make them believe him? Just then, Sato gathers everyone and says they all need to be on the same page. Since coming to this world, they've all grown stronger, so shouldn't they use that power to help the people here? He wants to defeat the Demon Lord, just as His Majesty requested, and asks for everyone's cooperation. Naturally, they all agree. Oda realizes they're assuming the king and princess are their allies. After breakfast, the students are summoned to meet the kingdom's knight commander, Mithray. He greets them as his little heroes and announces that their training begins today. In 1 month, they'll enter a dungeon to test their strength. But instead of training them himself, he delegates that task to his assistant. Then, Mithray suddenly approaches Oda and asks what's wrong. Oda is stunned. How can Mithray even see him? He hasn't dismissed his conceal presence. Seeing his confusion, Mithray explains that the skill is still active. It's just that his eyes are a bit special. They're mystical, capable of perceiving temperature differences. He assures Oda that he won't tell the king or the princess, so he can relax. Oda is puzzled. Isn't Mithray supposed to be on their side? But Mithray simply says it's complicated. As they talk, Mithray learns that Oda wants to access the archives because he knows nothing about this world, not about its magic, skills, or anything else. His conceal presence skill is maxed out, but most of his other skills are still level 1, and he has no idea how to improve them. Mithray offers to teach him if he's interested, adding that Oda won't find what he's looking for in the archives anyway. Oda admits that he's been hyped ever since arriving. This is the kind of world he's only ever seen in fiction. But even so, he has to find a way back home. His family is waiting for him. Unfortunately, Mithray doesn't know of any way to return to his world. Still, he tells Oda that he'll need to get stronger regardless. If he dies before finding a way home, everything will have been for nothing. At the very least, Mithray says, he can help Oda become an excellent assassin. Oda hesitates, saying he doesn't like accepting favors for free. Mithray smiles and replies that he can repay him by telling him stories about his own world. He's eager for something new. Mithray starts Oda's training by explaining that, in addition to humans and demons, this world also has elves and beast folk. Each race lives on a different continent. Then the physical training begins. Mithray explains that you can only level up your class by killing monsters, but skills can be leveled through training. Later, Mithray talks with his assistant. The assistant reports that Oda's progress is satisfactory, but mentions that his workload has become heavy because Mithray is focusing entirely on Oda. Then Oda walks into the room, and Mithray's assistant quietly leaves. Oda says he happens to crave new knowledge himself, so he's been sneaking into the archives every night to read. That's where he found a strange little book, one that turned out to contain plans for a coup. Mithray admits he wrote it himself and disguised it as a recipe book to hide it there. The king, he explains, is broken beyond repair. He's willing to pay a terrible price to change the very rules of their world. They can't allow that to happen. However, the knights owe a deep debt to the royal family. Oda says he could tell from reading the book that Mithray wants a peaceful end to the king's reign. A month later, it's finally time for the students to enter the Great Labyrinth. They fight monsters for a while, but on their way back, they encounter a minotaur, a creature that shouldn't even appear on the upper floors. Their swords shatter the moment they strike it. The monster is far beyond their ability to handle. To make matters worse, the hero seems to have been cursed. He's losing his mind, and both of his arms are broken. While a classmate works to dispel the curse, Oda steps forward and takes command. He tells Mithray that he's going to use his magic. It's the only way he'll survive. It seems this is something they had already discussed, because Mithray also joins in, attacking the beast with his own magic and setting everything up for Oda to unleash his shadow magic.